understand. But nobody does it like Thom Abraham.
Give us a call, Steve.
He's a northern-bred, southern-fed, slick-talking guy. Listeners in his posse are the junkyard dogs. The SEC from Tennessee to calling them hogs. From Gainesville up to Lexington to the Titan Tiger Land. Nobody does it like Thom Abraham.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond?
It must be Wednesday. I called it hump day.
Uh-oh. Guess what day it is?
I know what day.
Guess what day it is?
Hump day.
Anybody? Mike. What day is it, Mike? Listen, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
It is hump day in the doghouse. Whole week is upside down. It's just weird now, and I'll explain that in a moment, but it is hump day in the doghouse. We got a lot to get to today. We're going to do it with a wide open first hour of the show. You know, we really rely on you guys, you people. There, you people. I'm pointing at the camera. We're you people. We really rely on you guys to bring some juice to the program because I do less interviews than anyone else on the station. I really do. I mean, I'll go 3 days a week with one, sometimes mixing a second. Pretty much less interviews than anybody else on a radio station. The irony of that is that this is not really an ensemble show, so to speak. I mean, Grizz is over there. He's mixing in. He's certainly a contributor to the show, but you know, this is still at its core a single host type show. So it's you guys who provide some of the entertainment aspect. Now, some of the calls are great. Some of the calls kind of suck, but that's okay because, you know, sometimes I suck. You know, that's kind of like the point. The point is that the show has always been about the show. I'm always looking for legends. I'm always looking for junkyard dogs, JYDs. Come bring back the JYD T-shirt with the JYD logo on it. What's a junkyard dog? Somebody that's called the show at least 3 times, not in the same day, but it's called the show at least 3 times makes you a junkyard dog. You're a dog. I'm looking for dogs in this show. Looking for a few more dogs. Don't need any cats. Don't need any meows. Looking for some dogs. Characters. I want characters in the show. And the balance of the show, it's my takes on how I see the sports world, for better or worse. I mean, that's the deal. It's a Thom Abraham show, and it is 26 years now, and it's my take on the sports world. Agree or disagree. And I'm that guy that doesn't, you can disagree with me, and that's fine. Because it's all opinions, unless it's something about fact. I mean, if I tell you 2 + 2 is 4, and you want to call in and say, hey, it's 5. I'm like, okay, it's your opinion, but I mean, it's 4. You know, it's the way it is. Always said it. I could sit here and I can X and O you to death. I could sit here and talk about the footwork or the kick slide. But your guys will gloss over. Is that entertaining? Not to me. This is a fans show, which is run by one of the biggest fans around. And I don't shy away from that. I don't sit there. I'm not, I used to be a fan of a team when I was 11 years old. You know, I grew up a fan. No. I don't shy away from my fandom. I don't. And look, I'm too old to change. 26 years in, I'm too old to change. It ain't going to change, folks. That's it. This is it. Whatever happens to me down the road, this is it. This is it. I don't want to say it's as good as it can get because you can always get better, but this is as good as I can get. But, you know, I'm going to try and do better, but I'm not going to be somebody. I'm not going to do somebody else's show. I'm not going to do somebody else's show. I'm a fan, and this is a fan show. I don't shy away from that. One of the first things I did in the media after I got out of coaching was a show called Fan TV that was out of Buffalo, New York. The only one that knows about that show is Kramer, probably. It was on the Empire Sports Network, and it was Fan TV was the name of this particular show. And it was their version of Sports Center, but they called it Fan TV. And I was one of their talking heads for college football. You know, when a college football topic came up, they'd put my face up there, and I would be on there, and I would be one of their talking heads. That's the way it is. All right, let's get to it. Can someone please explain to me why these playoff committee members need to fly to Grapevine, Texas, in the Dallas Metroplex to meet at the Gaylord Texan Resort on Grapevine Lake each week to come up with this poll? I mean, goodness, all the film that they need is available digitally. I mean, we're all looking at huddle film, getting ready to do games and things like that. Anybody who's involved as a broadcaster or whatnot, we have a huddle account, and I can go check out Mountain Brook for tomorrow night's game, playoff game. I can check out, I can go back and re-look at the film of a Buckhorn game, and I can look at all the Mountain Brook games, and we can look at film. It's all available to just us, and we're just schlocks. So why are these people, who's paying for this expense? They fly into this resort. These are all athletic directors and a couple of former players, one former coach. I mean, that's kind of a travesty. Jim Grobe is the only former coach. I mean, some of the ADs coached in some way, shape, or form. It's like 8 athletic directors, 2 former players, a former coach, and some woman I never heard of. And she was the president at one time of the Football Writers Association of America, of which I'm a member. She was the first female president of the Football Writers of America Association of America. And I never heard of her. She apparently wrote for like 14 years for USA Today. She also covered like the Olympics and soccer, the World Cup. She's on the committee. I don't understand, though, why these discussions can't take place over Zoom or Microsoft Meeting or Google Spaces, and you get this thing done in like 90 minutes and go back to work. Look, nothing changed in the top 8 teams. And those are the teams that are basically in the running for the 4 playoff spots. There's nobody that's going to come out of the top 8 that's not going to be in the playoff. They're working that out for the other bowl games, practicing for next year when it's a 12-team thing. In fact, why not make out like the first poll? Give us this first poll, 8 weeks into the season, and then come back in a few weeks at the end of the regular season. Why are you giving me this now? How is this meaningful now before Michigan and Penn State play, before Ole Miss and Georgia play? Why is this meaningful now? Give me one 8 weeks in. Give me another one at the end of the regular season, and then tell me what you did after the conference championship games. I mean, I get it that it's a TV show, but there's nothing to see here. There really isn't. They are respecting the head-to-head between Washington and Oregon until Oregon beats them in the rematch, and they are respecting the head-to-head with Texas and Alabama, even though the Tide are vastly improved since that Week 2 game, and Texas has not only lost to a 2-loss team, but they also got beat by the team that lost to South Alabama. And they are squeaking by the last couple of weeks. Almost got beat by K-State. Alabama's resume is better, people. It is. And all the analytics know it. You go to the Sagarin ratings, they know it. You go to the FPI, they know it. Now, Alabama's FPI, Football Power Index at ESPN, is actually 5th. Penn State's is actually 4th. Oregon's is 3rd with Ohio State and Michigan. Florida State and Georgia are behind Alabama, 6th, 7th. And Texas is 8th. So I'm just saying, that's the FPI. If you want to go and look at the Sagarin ratings, again, analytics. Michigan 1, Ohio State 2, Alabama 3, Oregon 4, Penn State 5, Georgia 6, Texas 7. Because of resume. At this point now, Alabama has played the number 1 most difficult schedule in America. Not just by like adding up the numbers of, how many wins and losses and everything else. Schedule difficulty done by the Sagarin ratings has to do with where the game was. Doesn't matter 100% as to what the record is of that team. They're talking about things like win-loss record in all games, not all games, but games only between rated teams, and the schedule strength computations are done based on where that game was. You know, for Texas, playing Alabama at Alabama is much more difficult than playing Alabama at home. That's what they're computing. I tell you what, you want to talk about head-to-head? How about this for head-to-head? You want to go head-to-head? Head-to-head! Want to go head-to-head? Texas lost to Oklahoma. Oklahoma lost to Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State got destroyed by South Alabama. South Alabama lost to the Louisiana Raging Cajuns. Go Connor. The Raging Cajuns lost to Butch Jones and Arkansas State. So let's put the Red Wolves in there. Head-to-head. Head-to-head. Oh, wait. The Red Wolves, who beat the Raging Cajuns, who beat South Alabama, who beat Oklahoma State, who beat Oklahoma, who beat Texas. The Red Wolves got beat by Oklahoma 73-0. 73-0. But they turn around and beat the team to beat the team to beat the team to beat the team to beat Oklahoma to beat Texas. Head to head, baby. What's really fun is to look at what the 12-team playoff looks like this morning after the poll came out. And then you realize that the Pac-12 teams in that race will not be in whatever is left of the Pac-12 next season. And that's a whole nother discussion that we may or may not get to today. Right now, as of today, it's looking like there's going to be two teams. They're going to be the Pac-2 next year. They're going to be the Pac-2 next year. And they want their pound of flesh. They want their money from the BCS or from the college football playoff. They want their cut. Two teams. Two. Are they going to get an automatic qualifier? They're going to play a schedule of Mountain West teams. But is the Mountain West teams going to ultimately join the Pac-12? Or the Pac-12 teams going to join the Mountain West? Or the Pac-12? Pac-12 teams right now are going to be treated like independents. They're going to be like Notre Dame next year. Is Oregon State and Washington State automatically go to the Pac-12 championship? They're not getting an automatic qualifier. It's a two-team conference. They're going to play as a two-team conference. And all the ramifications that go with the conferences getting the money and splitting up. Some weird stuff going on. All right. Phone lines are open. The number is 256-576-4977. That gets you into the show on the lines where you can comment and tell us what you know or whatever you want to talk about. Text window is open. 732-9TA show. 732-982-7469. Use that throughout the show. We can read and react to them on the air. For example, LSU Lynch, look here. In the text window, look here. My boys, myself, we'll see you Veterans Night, the Havoc, tomorrow night. No, you won't. Originally, I was supposed to do the game. Originally, I was supposed to fill in for Steve Moulton at the Full Moon Barbecue with the West Neighbors. And then I was to run over to the hockey arena, do the hockey game, and then Friday night go to Birmingham to do the Buckhorn Mountain Brook playoff game. Well, the Buckhorn Mountain Brook playoff game has been moved to Thursday night. So that's tomorrow night. So now I won't be at the hockey game, LSU Lynch. I'm sorry. I'll be at some. I'm sure I'll be at some in the future, but I will not be at that one. So everything has changed. Everything has changed. Well, John McGough and I will be going down to Mountain Brook, and we'll bring you that game. It'll start on Zone 2 and then kick over to the air once we are, once we get past the Nick Saban show at 8 o'clock. That's the way it's going to be. Can I tell you? Beautiful stadium down there, too, from what I can tell. It's a beautiful stadium. You know, I'm looking at something here, and I'm thinking, it's weird. Huh. Grizz, ask me what was weird when we get to the commercial break. All right. At the top of the one, David Moulton, the SEC on CBS, and Monday Night Football is back. Maybe he can explain why we are getting Tennessee, Missouri instead of Ole Miss, Georgia this week on CBS. I imagine it has something to do with having to get all the teams in. I'll ask David if he would have moved Georgia ahead of Ohio State this week in the playoff poll. Not that it matters. For the life of me, I cannot understand why the Buckeyes' analytical chance of making the playoff and winning the Natty is significantly higher than Michigan's. When you look at the analytics, it says the Buckeyes are a 76% chance of making the playoffs, and Michigan is a 45% chance of making the playoffs. Yet, Michigan is a 6-point favorite in that game coming up at the end of the season between Michigan and Ohio State, which will be played in Ann Arbor. And Michigan's a 6-point favorite. So how in the heck has Ohio State got a better chance than Michigan? I don't understand it. And speaking of 2024, there'll be no divisions in the Big Ten then. So if it plays out like this year and like most years, I mean, think about it. Ohio State and Michigan, they could be playing in back-to-back weeks. Now that we're getting closer to this happening, and you look at it you come up with these great theories, and now do we want that? I mean, Michigan and Ohio State, then it'd be Michigan and Ohio State again, back-to-back weeks? Do we want that? I don't know if we want that. And in the NFL, why? And by the way, that could happen in the SEC as well. I mean, it could. And why isn't the NFL flexing out the Jets-Raiders Sunday night game? Don't they have that flex thing in play now, second half of the season? There's got to be 4 or 5 other way more compelling games than the Jets and the Raiders on Sunday night. All right, over there in that little glass room with the slanted ceiling, playing the platters that matter and the stacks of wax and answering the phones and keeping us on the air. It's the one and the only DJ Grizzy Grizz.
Who in the blue hell are you? What is your name? It doesn't matter what your name is.
I'm the producer of this show. If I didn't step up, you're nowhere. I put this thing together out of spit and polish.
I think this is one of the traits of a really good producer. Keep the talent happy.
I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
Now, Thom. Hey, Thom.
Testosterone high today. Testosterone, whatever the it is.
It really doesn't matter what you think. All right? It really doesn't matter what you say.
Any of you play sports?
Grizzlicious, how you doing today?
Come on, Thom. I'm doing all right, but don't throw down that Sunday night matchup when you have a great Thursday night matchup coming up between the Panthers and the Bears, and then you get Monday night between the Broncos and the Bills, because you never know what Broncos team's going to show up, and you never know which Bills teams is going to show up. So this could be a really bad game on Monday night.
Bills are schizophrenic. I mean, they need to win that game in a bad way. They're out of the playoffs right now. But I understand a Thursday. You can't really – I mean, I could see how difficult would it be to flex a Thursday game, although I think they did – no, they didn't do something with the Thursday games. They did something with Monday Night Football where there can be some flex games where they can move some games off of Monday to Sunday and from Sunday to Monday late in the season. But Sunday afternoon to Sunday night is the easy flex. They've been doing that for several years now. I just don't understand – why they're giving us Jets and Raiders. I mean, I'll give you some. How about Texans and Bengals? I mean, you got C.J. Stroud and the Texans are 4-4. The Bengals are 5-3 and coming on like a train. That would be more exciting. How about 49ers and Jaguars? I mean, you're talking about 5-3 versus 6-2. Saints and Vikings with Josh Dobbs. You know, Josh Dobbs was the NFC Offensive Player of the Week this week. And Grizz, this is one someday you can win a frosty one on. Josh Dobbs, who has been a career journeyman who can't even stay on a team's taxi squad most years, right? Josh Dobbs, brilliant. Rocket scientist out of the University of Tennessee.
Genius, yeah.
Genius. Josh Dobbs is the first quarterback in the history of the NFL, which is only 105 years old, but he's the first quarterback in the history of the NFL to score 3 touchdowns in back-to-back weeks for different teams. For different teams.
It's nasty.
I mean, think about that.
Yeah.
You know, that's just nuts.
And gave up 2 fumbles and a safety.
And was the player of the week.
And still was the player of the week. Yeah.
Because he didn't even know anybody's name.
Only the Falcons can make a guy or a team look like that. Look as good like that.
It's crazy. Hey, did you hear? Has Unleashed played today? Has it been playing?
Yes.
Because
yes.
Okay,
I'm sure. Yes.
Because I just had a message on my computer that said you could not send it or something wrong, and I'm thinking
I can
that
look, but yeah, pretty sure.
I think I did send it. I think originally I was sending it to Temple, the Temple of Doom.
Yeah, it's on.
And to the Baby Man. Okay, and that's today's.
Yep.
Okay.
11/8.
All right, good. All right. Oh, it's today 11/8. Okay.
I think so. Last time I checked.
I was saying I couldn't send yesterday's, I guess. Okay. All right. I don't know. It's just great. Oh, 11/8 today? That Saturday's 11/11. Saturday's my dog's birthday. Oh, thank God. Won't be a puppy anymore. Oh, I've been waiting for this day.
10 more days till this guy's birthday. So.
What? But you're not a puppy
Happy
anymore.
birthday
anyway.
to Betty Boop and everything like that. But you know.
But don't they say that at a year they're not a puppy anymore? They're a dog, right?
Oh yeah, they're a dog after a
year.
Yeah.
I can't wait for her to be a dog because she's still chewing on stuff. And I told her,
My dog's
I said, look, 3 days, you're done. Stop chewing on the molding, okay? 3 days, you're done. Stop barking at us. We don't want to play with you all the time. You cannot go into the kitchen without this dog bringing toys in. Oh, throw me a toy. I'm like, stop it. We're not interested in your toys anymore. Stop throwing toys.
So I have a basket for that. I learned from my grandmother to have a basket.
She goes and gets them out of the basket.
Of course.
She goes and gets all the toys out. So we're trying to teach her how to put them back in. We got a little wire basket in the family room. And we pick up her toys and we throw them in there. And then she goes in there and she gets them out one at a time. Crazy dog, man. All right. Lots going on. A lot to get to. Let's get a break. When we come back, phone lines. Let's just go open lines when we return. It's Thom Abraham Show, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
One of the best-kept golf secrets in the Tennessee Valley is Cherokee Ridge. Cherokee Ridge truly offers golf at a higher level with immaculate greens set against a spectacular Appalachian backdrop. This 18-hole championship course takes every advantage of rolling hills, whispering woods, lakes, and streams. Interested in becoming a member? Their membership plans feature affordable options for couples, families, and individuals. Book your tee time today, 256-841-4551. Cherokee Ridge. Championship quality, affordable prices.
Sitting here with Mark Kent of Southern Fidelity Mortgage Group of Huntsville. Mark, do you help pre-qualify people?
We pre-qualify people all the time, Wes. As a matter of fact, I love having them coming in here because when they come in and they pre-qualify, they can leave my office knowing exactly how much they can buy and have no worries.
Mark, tell me about your rates and pricing.
Well, Wes, this is something we're really, really proud of. Long story short is I love being able to provide the best pricing in town. Honestly, I cannot tell you the last time I lost a deal to either rate or pricing, something I'm very proud of.
So what all financing options do you have, Mark?
We do several different things. If you're purchasing a home, we can handle the purchase. If you're wanting to refinance your home, of course, rates are at the lowest they've been in the last 3 years. We do a lot of refinancing. If you're building a home, we can handle the entire process from breaking ground to the final close.
Do you sleep with your phone?
Wes, if you want to reach me, you can call me at my office phone, which is 256-562-1000. But always remember, I sleep with my cell phone at night. That number is 256-656-5936.
The best place to get 50s diner-style homemade delectables is Bubby's Diner. Located at 8412 Whitesburg Drive Southeast, try their all-new expanded breakfast menu with homemade waffles, omelets, and shrimp and grits. With 3 generations of experience, Chris Bubby Belcher has the best burgers in town. Don't forget to leave without a homemade pie or a hand-spun milkshake. Give Bubby's a call today at 256-513-8080. Bubby's Diner, home of the donut burger.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
Work injuries happen in Alabama all the time, whether it's an accident at work, getting injured, lifting heavy objects, hurting your hands on a machine, or just performing the same movement over and over until your body breaks down. But when it happens, there's only one law firm to call in Alabama. That's Pond, Lehocky, Giordano. For personalized legal support, reach out to Pond Lehocky at 855-774-3838 or pondlehocky.com.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers. Next time you're online looking for landscaping inspiration, open Instagram and check out Southern Gent Landscaping. They can help make your yard your dream outdoor oasis. Southern Gent Landscaping can handle it all, from landscape maintenance and installation to irrigation and hardscapes, even AstroTurf. Turn your yard into a landscape you'll be proud to show off. Call Southern Gent Landscaping at 256-509-6088. 509-6088. Southern Gent Landscaping. Professional landscaping performed with satisfaction guaranteed.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Plenty of sunshine this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the lower 80s. Some of us could actually see the mid-80s. We drop just into the low 60s as we head into the overnight, early into your Thursday morning. A couple of scattered showers are going to be possible through Thursday morning into Thursday afternoon. Looks like the best chance for any widespread rain is going to move into the Tennessee Valley Thursday night and then early into Friday morning. A mostly cloudy sky on Thursday afternoon. Temperatures still climbing into the mid and upper 70s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Hi, this is Eli Gold, voice of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Join us every week for Alabama football right here.
Listen to Alabama football all season long on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Well, I've seen the devil's shadow underneath the moon. Keep that fire going. The sun is coming soon.
The segment of the Tom Abraham Show is brought to you by the service team at Woody Anderson Ford, experts in the service of Ford and other makes, using genuine Ford and Motorcraft parts on every Ford service job. From tire rotations, wheel alignments, brake jobs, oil changes, engine tune-ups, training work, they do it all at the service department in the Quick Lane Tire and Auto Center for your Ford and other makes. They got dependable service no matter the make or the model, and a tremendous body shop as well. And they take care of all the insurance for you and everything. Check out the certified gold pre-owned vehicles and the new inventory as well. Corner of Sparkman and Jordan Lane. It's Woody Anderson Ford, the only place I've gone in the Tennessee Valley since 2004. Visit WoodyAndersonFord.com to learn more. Text window, good question. If Alabama has played the hardest schedule, why aren't they the top-ranked one-loss team? Well, I get it with Texas because they're still honoring the head-to-head. All right, they're going to honor that head-to-head right now, and you know, that's fine. I think that will change ultimately. I really do. Whether Texas goes or not, there's no way they're going to deny a 12-1 SEC champion. There's a lot of work to get to that point. But if they're 12-1, and by the way, I'd say the same thing about Georgia. If Georgia stumbles this week and loses to Ole Miss, then comes back and beats Alabama in the SEC championship game, and Georgia's 12-1, they are not going to deny a 12-1 SEC champion. It's not going to happen. Won't happen. But I get it with Texas and Alabama because they're honoring the head-to-head. The one I don't get is Oregon. Oregon at 8-1 is 6, ahead of Texas and Alabama. Oregon's strength of schedule is 60. It's 60. All right, we've got to get off of this mindset that the Pac-10 is the be-all and the end-all. Oregon's strength of schedule is number 60. You know how many top 10 teams Oregon has beaten? 0. 0. Do you know how many top 30 teams Oregon has beaten? 2. For example, Alabama's beaten 4. They've each lost to 1. Oregon losing to Washington, Alabama losing to Texas. Alabama's 4-1 against top 30 teams. Oregon is 2-1. We'll get it.
They're taking into account. I'm sorry.
Texas is 3-1. Go ahead.
I was just saying they're taking into account that Oregon beat a Colorado team that was in like the top 20, but they're 4-5 right now. Texas Tech is 4-5, and they barely squeaked by Texas Tech. Well, yeah, not anymore, but they were. I guess they were. At the time.
You don't get credit for that. You get credit for where they are now, and so now they're not a top 30 team anymore. So they don't get credit for beating Colorado.
Yeah.
The best win they've got is the big win over Utah.
Right.
They smashed Utah, which is Utah's strength of schedule is 26, but Utah's a 7-2 team. But they crushed Utah. That's the best looking win they got.
And CBS Sports is saying that like where they put Utah was underrated, and it's just like. I don't even know if their schedule is worth saying that they should be ranked higher or ranked better.
Where'd they put Utah? Utah's 18.
Yeah,
they got Utah at 18. All right, analytics. Let's see where FPI has them. FPI has Utah at below Clemson. I don't even know what number it is because they don't have a number next to it. And let's see where Sagarin has them. Sagarin has Utah at 17. Utah's right where they belong.
Yeah.
They're right where they belong. I'm not buying her over the radio. All right, let's go to the Philip. Philip, welcome to the show. How are you? Philip, by the way, sent me a number of questions to ask David Moulton about Troy Aikman, his man crush.
He asked about it yesterday when his show was. Yeah. So when he joins the show, I said tomorrow.
Okay. So. Philip, what's going on?
Well, I'm just going to come out with it. Totally unsports related conversation we're fixing to have. So I was up all night. I finally went to sleep at like 9:30 this morning because I was so fired up about it. Mm-hmm. I'm that dude that if you tell me I have to watch something, I ain't doing it. So I never watched an episode of Seinfeld when it was actually airing.
Yeah.
And I discovered it after it was gone. And if I'm flipping through TV and it's on, I'm watching it.
Right.
Have you ever seen the movie Dancing with Wolves?
No. No, because it was panned when it came out, and I'm a Kevin Costner fan. And when it came out, it was panned so badly that I didn't watch it. It was like Waterworld and Dancing with Wolves. We're too,
Well, I'm watching Circle. I think it's called the Circle Network. It's kind of like the Nashville, thing. And they show movies. And I guess when I found it, because I was watching the Clint Black thing, and then it went to this. So I guess they were showing it in half.
Okay.
And so it's right in the middle of it. I thought, I'm going to give it a shot. Oh, my goodness gracious, Tom. That's a great movie.
Really?
Great.
It was panned.
I'm talking great. And the chick that plays on it, I might have to rearrange my most beautiful women Mount Rushmore.
Is that Julia Dreyfus?
No. And I looked her up. It's a woman I've never seen her and do anything else. Stunningly beautiful. She's 71 years old now.
Mary McDonald? Who is it?
Yeah. I think it's Mary McDonald. It's some weird name I've never heard of.
She was on a show we watched. My wife and I watched that we really liked. She was on The Closer, which became Major Crimes. And we watched that show. That show was back in 2012 to 2018. But I never thought of her as atrattive. I mean, she's
Donnie
right.
Darko, The Closer, Independence Day.
Yeah, she's nothing. No.
She's in the new show, movie, Fall of the House of Usher.
She's not Mount Rushmore. I'm sorry. Can't put her on Mount Rushmore.
No, are we sure we have the name right?
If it's her, it's not. It
was her. It was her. Dances with Wolves.
Yeah, Mary McDonald. She was in Dances with Wolves. It can't be Tattoo Cardinal. That's the old Indian woman that plays Black Shawl. Can't be her. The movie was panned. It was not highly thought of. It was kind of a dud. Just saying.
Oh, Tom. Thom. It's so good.
I'll have to watch it now because I'm a fan of his. You're going to make me watch it, but from what I remember back when it came out, it was kind of considered a dud. Back in 1990 when it first came out.
I always just heard everybody saying how great it was, and that's why I never kind of gave it a shot. But then after that ended, and I'm like, my mind is blown. A movie that I thought that I had seen but hadn't. Another fantastic movie. A big John Wayne cowboy fan. Cowboy movies. I don't get into his military stuff, but Big Jake.
Big Jake is good. That's an old movie.
Very good.
Big Jake is good. Yeah.
So after discovering that, I was so excited still about the Dancing with Wolves. I'm like, I wonder if this is on anything, So I flipped the thing over and and it's on Prime. So right after watching Big Jake, I watched Dancing with Wolves all over again, except for from the beginning.
Now I remember what I think that the criticism was. I guess it did all right at the box office. I think the criticism was of Dances with Wolves. It was very liberal. I think a lot of conservatives thought it was like a bleeding heart liberal piece by Kevin Costner. I think that was the case. Is that what it seems like to you when you watch it? I mean, does it seem like it's a really liberal, like pro-Indian, anti-American type deal?
No.
Okay.
No, I would not say that. Definitely very pro-Indian. And it's concerning the Sioux tribe and how the government was running in. The cavalry was basically coming in and just slaughtering Indians. I mean, that's what they were doing, or that's what the movie depicted. Things happen, but it is, oh my goodness gracious, it is, Thom, that is much watch list. I'm
surprised that Mary McDonnell played a native in it. She played Stands with the Fist, Grizz. Mary McDonnell. She played Stands with the Fist. I wonder if that, and by the way, good job by you, Philip. You've run off Bama Todd and Crawdad with your movie review.
Yeah.
Dances with Wolves. I mean, just took the show. Boom, there it is. I mean, I know I said the show's your guy. It's a fan show, and you boom, hijacked the show, and there it goes with Dances with Wolves. You cleared the lines, all right? I would just want you to tell you, Philip, you cleared the friggin' lines.
It's Minutia Wednesday.
It is a Minutia Wednesday. It is a midweek Minutia day. I'll agree with that.
Otherwise, I wouldn't have done it.
I hear you. I feel you. I know you're waiting for Moulton. Appreciate you. It's a good job by you.
So excited. How about the
Cowboys? I guess a lot of it is in Lakota language, and it's like subtitled and things like that. I think that's what it was.
I mean, I've seen it. I didn't really. I guess I didn't get the message of it because I was younger. But I've seen the movie, and I didn't see anything wrong with it.
Well, you're kind of a bleeding heart liberal too, so I would think that you would like it.
Well, like now that I watch movies,
you would give the whole country back to the Indians, right? I mean, if it were you, you would give the whole country back to the natives, and you would put all the white folks on like a reservation.
No, it's just like when you get older, you see it in movies. Like I get it. I get what critics like see in movies, but what also just regular fans want to see in movies. Like I want to watch a superhero movie. I don't want to see like some weird narrative that's in a superhero movie. You know what I mean? Like, just give me a good movie. Like Dances with Wolves. Just give me a good movie.
That has to do that same thing happens with music as you get older.
Oh, definitely. I've heard a few bands that I listen to that talk about political
music.
Stuff. Yeah.
Well, yeah. But you hear something like what was it? Iron Lung or whatever that movie was, and when you listen to, you don't realize that it was like, is this guy a pedophile? I mean, when you first heard it, you're just listening to it, and it's like a really good song. And then after a while, somebody says, that movie's about a pedophile, and you're like, what?
Oh, well, yeah, it's like the meaning of certain songs, and you're just like, well, this song is about this. And
I never, when I was a kid, Layla, you know what I mean? I never.
Zombies about the IRA,
I never connected when they said Layla, and they said what she is not Layla, Lola. Lola.
Oh, Lola, yeah.
I know what I am, and what I am is a man, and so is Lola. I never realized the song was about a friggin' transvestite.
Doesn't matter. You're just chilling, singing. You're at a bar. You hear that song, Lola.
Puff the Magic Dragon. I mean, what about Puff the Magic Dragon?
Yeah.
We hear Puff the Magic Dragon, right? We don't know it's a drug song. Turns out it's a drug song.
I love music, man.
Off of Philip's call from the 256, Mary McDonald is not top 100. The Philip is drinking heavily, I think. Yeah, Mary McDonald is not. I wouldn't walk across the street to. Although I said that about Faith Hill too. I always thought Faith Hill was beautiful. I always thought, oh, Faith Hill is so beautiful. And then I met her in Nashville at my studio. Kix Brooks used to do the Country Top 20 or Country Top 30 show. So his studio was right across the hall from my studio. So every Tuesday when they recorded the Country Top 30 or whatever it was, Kix would have, a different guest that would come in and do the top 30 with him. And so one day he has Faith Hill.
Ooh,
and
nice,
so I come out of my studio.
Cool,
Kix comes out, Faith Hill. He introduces me. Oh, this is Faith Hill. And a big fan. Her hair, and at that time, Faith Hill, she had this long, beautiful blonde hair and all of this stuff. Well, her hair was like cut just under her ears. It was all extensions. Her hair was short. She had a hat on with big sunglasses, no makeup. Skinny, emaciated looking. And let me tell you something. This is a God's honest truth. If Faith Hill was walking down the street on the opposite side of the street from me and I was walking down the street, I wouldn't turn my head to look at her. I wouldn't even turn my head to look at her. And it was Faith Hill. So it's so sometimes it's different, in reality than it is, from there. Grumpy says the Philip is slowly turning into just Philip.
Just a Philip.
Just Philip.
Just Philip.
No the. He's going to lose
just the Philip.
I mean, being the Philip is that's a title. He's the Philip. Grumpy says after that call, slowly he's becoming just Philip.
JP. Just call him JP.
Yeah, JP. Just Philip. Not the Philip, just Philip. Which to change his handle to just Philip. Mr. Styles is up next. Mr. Styles, welcome in. How are you?
How are you, Mr. Abraham?
I am fantastic. Yeah, I'm great.
So I think you happen to be a little spoiled with beautiful women, sir. The fact you get to go home to one every day. So your standards are obviously higher than one without that luxury of having.
I have the bar is set very high. The bar is set very high for me, even though she says that the bar is not very high. So my wife apparently said, I don't even know where that cut went. I don't even want that cut. I mean, Gers has that cut. My wife said the bar is not set very high. She was talking about picking games, but she might have been talking about me. But yes, for me, I will say, I'll agree with you, Mr. Stow. The bar is set very, very high for me. For what I consider a beautiful woman, it's I've been looking at one.
I don't have a high bar.
Yeah, she doesn't have a high bar. I have a high bar.
I don't have a high bar.
I have been looking at her for 45 years, going all the way back to high school. When I first spotted her going up the stairs at Bishop Kearney High School in her short Catholic schoolgirl dress, and told my buddy, I said, I'm taking her out this weekend. And he said, no, love it. I said, no. Forget about it. I'm taking her out this weekend. All right. And that's exactly what happened. But anyway.
Some things you just got to act on immediately, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But hey, I just talk about Western. All right. So I know it's a sports show, but we're down this rabbit hole now. I started watching a Netflix series last night. It might not be new. I don't know. I'm not really up on it, but it's called Gwathney. And I saw the first 2 episodes. It's a Western. Man, it takes me in too. It's something I stay up till 2 or 3 in the morning binge watching. But it might be worthwhile. It's kind of.
What was
cool.
the name of it? What's the name of it?
Godless.
Oh, Godless.
I've seen it. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Godless?
I won't ruin it for you. It's good.
There's Bass. There's a true story that just came out.
Bass Reeves.
Bass Reeves.
Yeah.
I watched the first 10 minutes of the first episode and decided not to watch it. It just was not, it didn't compel me. And it's done by the same guy who does Yellowstone. It's done by Sheridan, the guy who does Yellowstone. Yeah, and I'm a big I love Yellow. I am so happy that Yellowstone came on CBS, that they remastered it and put it on CBS without all the F-bombs. I'm so happy they did that, because now I can watch it with my wife, and I've got it saved on the deal. And I missed a lot of episodes in the early seasons, but it was so vulgar. She wouldn't watch it. It was so vulgar, and I didn't even feel comfortable watching. I didn't watch the last season, but now they've got it with all the F-bombs out of it, and now I want to watch it again because the scenery is gorgeous. The storyline is gorgeous. It's kind of like Godfather Western, with Kevin Costner in the role of Don Corleone. But that I got to watch. I was a big fan of Clint Eastwood Westerns. Big fan of Tombstone is a really good Western. Yeah. But I grew up with horses, and always kind of had affinity for the. I'll be honest with you, and this this is a bare your soul kind of show, right? I have never been to Wyoming or Montana, and I'm afraid to go to Wyoming or Montana. I grew up on a horse ranch, small horse ranch, but I'm terrified to go to Wyoming or Montana because I'm afraid that if I get out west, I'm going to fall in love with it and never come back. I mean, I'll put my cowboy hat on. I'll have 3 head of horse, and I will just have a barn and some cattle, and I won't come back. And so I've never gone out there, and I don't want to leave the Southeast. So there's no bass fishing, and there's no SEC football out there. So I ain't going out there to watch Montana play football.
Yeah, you're pretty much landlocked, that's for sure. But I know what you mean. The pictures I see is just magnificent.
Well, we have a lot of that in Alabama and Tennessee too. I mean, you could stay right here. And my wife and I looked at a piece of land in Newmarket just a week or two ago, where we could build a beautiful cabin and it's already got a barn on it. We could have some horses, and it was a nice little piece of property in Newmarket. It's just the wrong time to sell your house. With right now, I don't feel good about putting a house on the market or doing something like that. So.
Yeah,
or building.
Yeah, I grew up. We had 140 acres out in Plevna.
Oh,
outside of
different.
Newmarket, out that way, and it was sitting on top of the hill. I mean, it had everything you could want. Deer running through. I mean, it was awesome. The barns and all that stuff. So that's how I grew up. So I know what you're saying. And the cool thing about here is you're not too far away from the beach. You go down south, and you got that. You go up north, you got all the mountains, and they're right here too. It's a great place to live. I like it. No,
this is a great place to live. There's no doubt about it. The fishing is great, and the college football is great. So you give me those two things. The weather is great enough. You get just enough cold weather. I'm not going anywhere. I wouldn't leave this area of the country.
All right. Well, let's get off here. Maybe climb out of the rabbit hole and start talking sports again.
Yeah.
And all right. Have a great day.
I appreciate you. See what happens. I gave you guys the first hour of the show. Philip hijacked the show. The next thing we're talking Westerns. With 3 weeks to go in the SEC.
I'm okay with that. He started talking John Wayne. I was starting to think, and I was just like the undefeated McClintock. I mean,
let me ask you a question.
Yeah,
am I the only one in the history of the world that liked the remake of True Grit better than the original True Grit?
And see, yeah, and
jeez,
maybe
I got to tell you,
maybe
the 2010 True Grit, with Jeff Bridges as Rooster Cogburn. I'm not, look, I know it's sacrilegious to say because it's John freaking Wayne, okay? But the remake of True Grit in 2010, I thought it was incredible. I really did. I did. I mean, I know it's not John Wayne in 1969. I thought it was incredible. Let me get a break. We'll come back. I don't know who the hell knows what we're going to talk about next on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
The kitchen is the heart of any home.
It's where the family gathers. It's where kids discover old recipes and make them their own. Just starting out or just now getting started on the dream kitchen you've always wanted?
I'm Chris Haygood, and from all of us here at Bob Wallace Appliance to the home builders and the homeowners of the Huntsville area, a heartfelt thank you for buying local. We're in Huntsville, Florence, and Coleman, and online at bobwallaceappliance.com.
Are you tired of power outages disrupting your life? It's time for a Generac standby generator from Current Electrical. Storms may rage outside, but inside your family's powered up. So why choose Current Electrical for your generator needs? 1, we offer a wide range of models to suit every budgeted energy requirement. 2, our project managers handle every step of the process: power, gas, permitting, and inspections. 3, our certified technicians install your generator with precision, ensuring peace of mind. Don't wait for the next blackout. Call 256-880-1880 or visit us online at GenSuperstore.com.
As the calendar turns to November, we thank Thanksgiving. And for that, we have plenty to be thankful for. As we gather with family and friends, it's a good time to make sure your heating and cooling units are up to speed. Thomas from Talent Heating and Air with us. Thomas, if you're tired of all of that from all the other companies, give Talent Heating and Air a call.
That's right. If you're tired of hearing a bunch of, give us a call at 256-503-4490. We're still out running our special. We can come out, check out your system, make sure it's ready for heating season, and we can do that free gas inspection with that tune-up.
You can also find Talent Heating and Air online at
talenthvac.com.
Don't let any of those other companies jive turkey talk you into expenses you don't need. Give Talent Heating and Air a call today.
I'm pretty sure that you called me a jive turkey.
No, now, Lou. Nobody called anyone a JT.
Jive turkey is a little over the line, my man.
AL cert number 21014.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
Hey there, Bob Baumhauer here. Score big deals at Baumhauer's this football season and order from our Inflation Bites menu. Try our Buffalo Wing Special with fries and a complimentary beverage for only $9.99. And what's football without a cold beer? Our pitchers of Yingling and Yingling Flight are only $7.99, served all day, 7 days a week. And huddle up, football fans. Sign up today for our free NFL Pick'em contest at Baumhauers.com for weekly prizes. Baumhauers, legendary fun and legendary food.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Plenty of sunshine this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the lower 80s. Some of us could actually see the mid-80s. We drop just into the low 60s as we head into the overnight, early into your Thursday morning. A couple of scattered showers are going to be possible through Thursday morning into Thursday afternoon. Looks like the best chance for any widespread rain is going to move into the Tennessee Valley Thursday night and then early into Friday morning. A mostly cloudy sky on Thursday afternoon. Temperatures still climbing into the mid and upper 70s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Listen each Friday to the Woody Anderson Ford High School Football Scoreboard Show, powered by the Huntsville Sports Commission on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Segment of Tom Abraham Show is brought to you by Alumni Hall. For all your Alabama gear and Auburn gear, go to Alumni Hall at Bridge Street. From gifts to tailgating items to the coolest clothing, Alumni Hall next to the Kona Grill across from the Connor Steakhouse has it all. Look the part. Go to Alumni Hall. Chubby Ninja got loose. He says, you know what else is on TV right now, fellas? Freaking college football. Maybe we should discuss some of that.
Yeah, we should.
He's right. He's right about that. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Speaking of college football, now Now Michigan is telling the Big Ten and the NCAA that other schools in the Big Ten have been sharing information about Michigan's signals. Hang on a second. Hang on one second. Grizz, you hang on a second. All right, radio show. Hang on a second. Talking to the Junkyard Babe just walked in the studio. Did you go in the bedroom? Did you? Oh, you texted me? Okay. All right. You can go now. All right. Appreciate you. Love you. That's a good job by you.
I don't have a high bar.
Wait, stop playing it. I don't have a high bar. When did you say I don't have a high bar? Grizz plays I don't have a high bar now every time. I think she's talking about me. You said I
when
don't
she
have
was
a
the
high
guest
bar.
special guest picker.
She was the guest picker. You were talking about the games. You weren't talking about me. We got Betty a new thing, Grizz, a new crate for her birthday. Her birthday's, she becomes a dog on
Does she have
Saturday.
a carry-on bag? Do you have like a carry bag?
My wife has this thing that she wears around her neck, a sling, where she
This is
throws
like a
her
backpack
in the
with like
sling.
a hole.
No, not the backpack with a hole. It's a sling that goes in the front. She goes to Walmart with the dog and the sling in the front.
That's funny. That's pretty cool.
So I got her a new, what do you call it? A new crate that's blue to match the paint in our bedroom. And it came while she was gone doing her Meals on Wheels thing, and I set it up in the bedroom, and it matches in there, and it's really pretty. I don't know if the dog will appreciate it, but my wife appreciates it. That's for sure. That's good. Anyway, so Michigan's saying, hey, Rutgers and Purdue shared information about our signals before the Big Ten championship game last year with Ohio State. Look, there's nothing in that's not illegal. There's nothing that's wrong with it. They got that information during their game. Coaches talk to I got news for you. Coaches talk to coaches all the time. So what do they do when they're doing it? This is what they do when they do that. This is what they do when they do that. This is what they do when they do that. That's not against the rules. What they did is against the rules. That's not against the rules. Let me get Keith, the Michigan fan, in here quick. Keith, welcome in. How are you?
Doing all right, big dog. Hey, that's what I was going to ask you about. Have you seen that article in Bleachers? But now, if Michigan is saying that they're going to fight this, because if everybody's doing it just because they go to a different level with it, what you going to do? I mean, you can't penalize the kids for working hard all year and then
You're right. You're right about that. You're right about that. You can't penalize the kids, and they won't. If anything, this is going to be all on Jim Harbaugh. You can't penalize the kids. However, I'll say this: the kids have been a beneficiary of this. See, if in fact this gave them a competitive edge, it's the kids that have been the beneficiary of the staff knowing the calls. But I'll say what you just said about the other thing. The other thing, coaches calling coaches and saying, and sharing information about a team that they gleaned from the game they played against them. There's no rule against that. There is a rule against going out ahead of time and videotaping, live scout videotaping your opponents before you play them. That's the point. One's against the rules. The other's a little unsightly. It's the underbelly of coaching, if you will. But it's not. There's no rule that was broken in doing it.
Now the guy who did this, I just heard on the radio earlier today that he also has some kind of financial dealings or marketing, and he used Chrome, the running back from Michigan, and who had no idea his name was even
That's what he says,
there.
yeah.
I mean,
yeah, that's what he said. Corum, the running back, Blake Corum, is apparently partners with Connor Stallions in a company that does vacuum cleaner repair. And he's mentioned in the LLC, although Blake Corum didn't sign anything. And Blake Corum says, I just found out about this before practice. I'm not partners with this guy. I mean, this is the story that just keeps on giving. The story is crazy.
Yep. All right, thanks.
We're gonna have to get John U. Bacon to write the book on this one. If this was a book, you wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't believe it. All right, coming up next, David Moulton will join us. And we'll talk about all this stuff, but not Westerns, on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm
Christine Lisi. A response from Michigan expected by the end of today by the Big Ten on the notice of discipline, reports ESPN's Pete Thamel. The league's notice alluded to allegations of illegal sign stealing. A ruling by the Big Ten is not expected until tomorrow at the earliest, as officials are expected to take time to absorb Michigan's response. Potential discipline from the Big Ten would likely be a suspension for football coach Jim Harbaugh, as opposed to any team-related punishment. Michigan running back Blake Corum says he has no business relationship with former staffer Connor Stalions after records of an LLC in Wyoming listing both men as co-owners surfaced yesterday on social media. Corum said he only became aware of the LLC listing yesterday before practice, had no idea how it appeared, said he contacted his attorney to intervene. Stalions believed to be at the center of the NCAA investigation into sign stealing.
WCZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Here's Bobby White from Woody Anderson Ford on their service department.
President's Award winner 2 years in a row. That's only given to the top 10% of Ford dealers in customer satisfaction. So we're very proud of the service department. And our body shop. If you happen to get into an accident, which not a lot of people just want to go down and see a body shop, but if you get into an accident, award-winning body shop. We have state-of-the-art paint booths back there. They're waterborne paints that we use, friendly for the environment. We've got our production system, the way things are in and out. We have the fastest cycle rate in town of getting your vehicle in, getting your vehicle out, and assured that it's fixed right. We take pictures before it's wrecked, and not only after, but we take it as we're putting the parts on. All done to above industry standards. So I'm proud of our body shop too. Don't forget our parts department. So if you happen to need parts, performance parts, or just parts if you're a weekend mechanic.
Woody Anderson Ford, located at the corner of Jordan and Sparkman, as well as Hughes Road and Madison. You can also check out the great deals at WoodyAndersonFord.com.
The Lodge at Guntersville State Park. From the gorgeous long views of the lake from the Bluff Side rooms to dinner at the Pinecrest room, Guntersville State Park needs to be on your bucket list this year. What an ideal place for a family staycation or a romantic getaway. Guntersville State Park has it all. This is a great time to book your visit, and depending on the time of year, you might want to bring the clubs and take in a round at Eagle's Nest. Make plans today to visit the Lodge at Guntersville State Park. If it didn't exist, you'd have to invent it. Guntersville State Park.
Looking for your next game day party destination? Well, think outside the box and kick back at Flosa Premier. And you may be thinking, isn't that the trampoline place? Of course it is. But it's also the one-stop spot for all things fun. And if kicking back with the boys to watch the game is your jam, then you're in the right spot. Jump or not, Flo tends to all ages, meaning while you sit back and watch the game, but little Jimmy's having the time of his life perfecting that front flip he most definitely wants to show you. You got this, Jimmy. So next time you think Flo, think fun for everyone.
Tom Abraham here for my friends at North Alabama Mortgage. Did you know that average home equity is at an all-time high? But so is average consumer debt. Even though rates are higher now, you can use your equity to pay off your high consumer debt, student loans, etc., then refi when the rates drop. Don't put off that new home purchase. When rates drop, prices will go up. Buy now and get the best price and then refi when the rates drop. This is the time to talk to the experts at North Alabama Mortgage. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com for more information.
You've got it locked on your home of the Alabama Crimson Tide and the Nick Saban Show. This is Eli Gold, and this is 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The opinions of Tom Abraham are not necessarily the opinions of the radio station or anybody associated with the radio station or ownership. These are strictly his own opinions, and sometimes they're not even his opinions.
You need to be more like a dog.
Like what you guys are doing. You've got your fingertip on the pulse of your listeners. You guys know what they're talking about.
Be a dog.
God bless the show. You are the Messiah.
We need more dogs.
This is the best show on radio.
The big dog, Tom Abraham, is here with you.
Hey, I see you. I see you, dog.
So settle in and get your bark on.
That's my dog.
Now live. Here he is, the big dog.
Let's go, baby!
Tom Abraham.
How you doing? 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 How you doing?
Look, I don't speak Spanish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
Do you know who I am?
I mean, that guy sounds like El McPherson farting into Miles Davis' trumpet.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond?
Get off my lawn.
I have to drag my Yankee ass out of here. welcome back. Hour number 2 of the Tom Abraham Show here on a hump day in the doghouse. So glad that you are with us today. This segment of the show is brought to you by our good friends at North Alabama Mortgage. You know, in Alabama and Tennessee and in Florida, North Alabama Mortgage has you covered for all your mortgage needs. And even though the rates are higher now, you can use that higher home equity you have to pay off your high consumer debt, your student loans, whatever. And then you just refi when the rates drop. And they will drop. And you don't want to put off buying a new home until the rates drop. Because when the rates drop, then the prices are going to go up. So you buy now, make it a good deal. Yeah, you're going to pay a few more interest points. But you can then go ahead and refi when those prices come down. Learn more at NorthAlabamaMortgage.com. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com. Guy who understands all of that mortgage stuff, very, very adroit when it comes to the numbers, if you know what I'm saying, is one Mr. David Moulton from the Florida Sports Network. Also, of course, from CBS, the SEC on CBS, the Big Ten on CBS as well. And, of course, Monday Night Football, working alongside the god that is Troy Aikman, according to the Phillip, who has a list of questions he wants me to ask David Moulton about Troy Aikman. We'll see if we can get those in or not. I'm not sure. He joins us now, though, not Troy Aikman, but David Moulton joining us now on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. David, welcome back. How are you?
Should I be worried about these questions?
Let's see. Does Troy Aikman have a dog?
No.
So Troy does not have a dog?
Not that I'm aware of. When I've been over his house, there was not a dog.
There was not a dog when you went to his house. Let me see. Now, where did these questions go? Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. If so, what's the dog's name and what kind? Okay, so there is no dog. What great American goes to Troy's house for dinner? I mean, that could be anybody. I mean, it could be a lot of people. Who is this great American that goes to Troy's house for dinner?
Well, I know former President Bush has been there.
Ooh, that's who he's talking about. I bet that's who he's talking about. How did that great American show his appreciation for Troy's hospitality? Did President Bush, former President Bush, do something specific for Troy?
I believe that there's a gift in a certain section of the house, but
okay.
You know, I'll just leave it at that.
All right. And you've been over to Troy's. Now, didn't you guys used to go to Troy's for, like, if the Thanksgiving, well, the Thanksgiving game's always in Dallas, but if you guys were doing the game, didn't Troy have all you guys over to his house for Thanksgiving? Is that true, or am I making that up?
2018 and 2020 Thanksgivings. Yes, after the game, we went over Troy's house. Correct.
Did you play Turkey Bowl with Troy Aikman?
That would be a no.
By the way, those last two were from me, not from the Phillip.
By the way, something that you need to know, the first year it was Italian.
Oh,
all right. He had Italian, and this just in. Nothing gets in between Troy Aikman and a meatball.
Oh, he's a big Italian fan.
Let me tell you, does not matter who it is. Could be wife, significant other, 2 daughters. Okay, does not matter. Could be the boss. No one gets in between Troy Aikman and a meatball.
I did not. Now, does Troy have a chef? Does he have somebody that's cooking this stuff? Now that he's making more than
he doesn't have a chef, but he
cooks.
I mean, I believe that was catered. Like we showed up and basically it was there. And obviously he didn't prepare it. He had a game.
We've had two Super Bowl participants, one as a child and one as a retired player, play in our Turkey Bowls for friendships that I had made with guys, for the Titans and so on. But the tight end had a really nice Super Bowl, Bryson Hopkins from Purdue, the tight end for the Los Angeles Rams. He and my kids used to play together as kids. They all grew up together, and Brad Hopkins and I are very good friends. We did radio together for a while. So Brad played in Turkey Bowl. Of course, he played in the Super Bowl, 32 or something, the one that ended on the 1-yard line against the Rams. And then, ironically, his son was a Super Bowl winner with the Rams. Never wanted to play football. We'd play Turkey Bowl. The kid did not want to play. He would just cry and not want to play. And he was a baseball player, and he wanted to be a basketball player. And then his junior year in high school, Bryson Hopkins decides to go out for football. Turns out to be a nice tight end, goes to Purdue, and is the 4th-round draft pick of the Rams. So there you go. Turkey Bowl participants. And he puts it on it's on the back of his trading card, I think. I think it says something about the Super Bowl, and then it says played in the Big Dog's Turkey Bowl game in 2012 or something like that. I think that's on there. Might not be. I may have just made that up. I'm not sure. Would David Moulton, if you were part of the committee, the playoff
You
committee,
and the damn committee. It's a TV show. It's crap. It's garbage.
Listen, I
Honestly,
opened with that.
It's
I
less
opened with
than
that.
useless.
Why would and here's the thing. They fly these people to
Yes.
Grapevine, Texas, to this beautiful resort on Lake Grapevine,
Yes,
just north
a
of
company credit
Dallas.
card, no all expenses. Yes, they waste
And they don't
thousands
change
of
anything.
dollars.
They could. You tell me they can't do that on Zoom? They tell me they can't all look at the film, and then they don't change anything. And the top 8 are the only teams that could make the playoff. And they just yeah, that's good. All right, pass the food, pass the meatball. Let's go to Troy's house. We're in Dallas. Pass the food. I mean, it's like I would look. Give me one. 8 weeks into the season, this is what we're thinking. Give me one right after the rivalry games, at the end of the regular season, and tell me this is what we're thinking, and then give me the final one after the championship games. That's all we need. Why? What's the point? What do I need one now before the Ole Miss Georgia game, before the Penn State Michigan game? Why do I need one now?
Chad, help me out here. Please explain to him. It's crap. It's a TV show. This is all done to promote the sport. Why do we have preseason polls, which are the dumbest thing ever? Why?
Yeah.
It's to hype up the sport. That's all this is. This is for ESPN to get you interested in the sport some more and to, the playoff. We're pumping the playoff. Why do they start talking about the Heisman Trophy the second week of September? Because Nissan's paid a bunch of money about the Heisman Trophy.
You know what's even worse, though, is power rankings in baseball throughout the season and power rankings in the NFL. It's like, who cares what the power ranking is in the NFL? Make the friggin' playoffs. That's all that matters. And to stop telling me that Buffalo is the 6th best team in the NFL when they're the 9 seed in the AFC right now, all right? I don't want to hear about that. And I know you're going to Buffalo coming up on Monday night, so you enjoy that. That is in Buffalo, right? Denver at Buffalo?
It's at Buffalo, yes.
Yes, enjoy that. After you've been to New York City a couple of times, now you get to go to Buffalo. New York's only real team is the Buffalo Bills because they play in Buffalo. So enjoy that. Having said all of that about the useless polls, right now, if somebody asked you, would you put Georgia? Do you think Georgia or Ohio State's the best team in the country right now? Would you put Ohio State or Georgia?
Does it matter?
After what you saw? No, yeah, it matters. What's your opinion of the best team in the country right now? You've seen 8-9 games. You're
right.
at several games. You're at the Georgia-Missouri game. You've seen Ohio State. Who's the best team in the country in your viewpoint right now?
Okay.
David Moulton.
When I answer questions like this, I take the resume into consideration. It's not a beauty contest to me. The whole, who do you think's the best team in the country? You could easily answer Michigan. They've played less than no one. Okay. Yeah. I take the resume into account.
Okay.
I think Ohio State, with wins at Notre Dame, that's a good, solid team. Mm-hmm. You can dismiss them all you want. That's a good, solid team, especially when they played them. And by holding Penn State to about 130 total yards, all right, I would give Ohio State a slight edge over what Georgia has accomplished this year. But it means nothing. The snapshot in time today means nothing.
Well, that was Georgia's first win over a top 30 team, if you will, with that victory over Missouri. Ohio State does have 2 wins over top 30 teams, the 2 you mentioned. Michigan is yet to play a top 30 team, strength of schedule number 71, so we'll learn something when they go to Penn State.
But think about Georgia. Before November, Georgia didn't play anybody. But now they're going to play 4 top 20 programs.
Yeah, it'll get good.
In a small stretch.
Yeah, it'll get good for Georgia, there's no doubt. And that's why I believe, and I know you bristle at this, but I believe right now, more than ever, and looking at analytics and looking at the fact that, who's played who and who's played, a tough schedule and all that stuff based on the analytic, I believe right now that there is no way, even if Georgia were to stumble Saturday against Ole Miss in a game that you people should be having on CBS, I understand.
Okay, are we going to – can we get to the bottom of this? Because I'm sure you killed CBS. It's very simple. We ran out of the number of times we could show Georgia.
That's what I told you.
You're only allowed to show them 5 times. The network ultimately made a decision because they were doing South Carolina. They were doing Auburn. They have to do Florida. It's mandated by the league. And then they earmarked that they were going to do Tennessee. So that's 4. Yeah. So they had one other game that they could add. And I don't think anybody saw at the beginning of the year that Missouri at Georgia was going to be such a key game. So it came down to, do you do Missouri at Georgia or do you do Ole Miss at Georgia? And so the network made a decision to do Missouri at Georgia, not knowing the outcome of the game, et cetera.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Is this the best game on the slate this week? No, it's the second best game on the slate.
Second best.
But contractually, they can only show a team 5 times in a season. There you go.
Are they going to have those kind of rules in the Big Ten? Because you're going to get in trouble. If you can't show Michigan and Ohio State like 8 times each, you're going to have trouble. You're going to have trouble. Because there might not be,
you've got 3 different networks now in the Big Ten.
That's
so
right. You don't have first
it will be
pick
difficult when you've got the second choice most weeks to end up showing a team more than 5 times.
Well,
I don't know specifically what the rules are.
Yeah, I wonder if the other networks are beholden to that because you may never get a Michigan game or an Ohio State game if you're picking second if they keep taking them. Now, you do have sexy teams in Washington, Oregon, USC, UCLA. You get a little bit of that.
Penn State.
It would be, Penn State. But, Michigan, Ohio State. Because really, if this was next year, no divisions, we're looking smack dab, and this could happen next year. And this is unintended consequences, I guess. They know that it could happen. But you could get Michigan, Ohio State back-to-back weeks. I mean, I don't know how.
But Tom,
boy.
And you were working in Florida when it happened. The thought was they were going to have Florida State and Miami play twice a year, 8 out of 10 years, and it's never happened.
Never happened. Now, they did have Florida State and Florida have a rematch in the national championship. What turned out to be the national championship game in the Sugar Bowl. Florida State had won their game at home, and then Florida won in the rematch, and they gave the national championship to Florida, even though the 2 teams finished. I think they both finished 12-1, and they split those 2 games. But I think Florida's win was a little more impressive than Florida State's then back then. You would know.
There was a rather famous rematch in the 2011 season, as I recall.
I heard there was one of those then. Yeah. That was one. That was after they did something fair. That's when the overtime rules kind of bit Alabama in the butt. Their defense hadn't allowed.
No, actually, the inability to kick field goals.
No, that was an issue too. But I always have it. But forget that game. My problem with college overtime is if a team is playing great defense, all of a sudden by rule you put the football someplace they couldn't get it to in the entire game. It's like, okay,
I agree with that.
25, and I hate that. Put it at the 50. Do something. Make them get a couple of first downs. Do something.
I agree. I always thought that the ball should start outside of field goal range. Agreed.
40. Get at least one first down before you.
But you have to admit, you approach that as if Alabama was the only good defense in the game. I mean, you have to admit the overtime rules didn't favor either team.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the field goals that they were missing, Cade Foster missing field goal after field goal, some of those were extremely makeable. The funny thing is that, it was crazy to see in your game, Will Reichert, who is considered the best kicker in all of college football, to see Reichert miss two 44-yarders. I mean, for Will Reichert, those are basically chip shots. And,
if I'm an Alabama fan, I'm thrilled. He got those misses out of the way in a game that we won. Okay. No, seriously. That's like it's like the golfer going on to win a major, but in round 3, he shoots a 1/73. And you're like, that's okay. He's still got a 4-shot lead as long as he plays well tomorrow. I mean, honestly, if I'm a Bama fan, I'm like, good, man. Get those misses out of the way. We got a couple of big ones coming up.
The other part of it is, though, as you used to play golf, I used to play golf. You shank one, you start thinking about shanking another one and another one and another one. And now it's in his head that, I'd have missed before, I don't know. I'd like that confidence.
Well, I will say, we asked him on Friday, what do you think about before a kick? He says nothing. And we're like, no, pre-shot routine or whatever. He goes, no, man, I just kick. I was like, oh, okay.
I'm going to ask you an explosive question. You guys saw it. You looked at it. You analyzed it. You talked about it on the air. You talked about it off the air, I'm sure. Roughing the passer versus targeting. Would you call it targeting? I mean, I have the definition of targeting here. LSU fan is acting like there was no flag on that play, as if it was the Tennessee hit on Bryce Young the year before when there was no flag on the play. There was a flag. It was roughing. It wasn't targeting. In your opinion, that hit on Jaden Daniels, targeting or roughing? Or does it even matter, really? Because, I mean, I guess there's a suspension involved if it was targeting.
Well, there's an ejection and a suspension.
Yeah.
Listen, the way I think of targeting, I do not think that was targeting. By the letter of the law, it was targeting.
Well,
I hate the way the rule is written.
Yeah.
But I think by the way the rule is written, it falls under the definition of targeting. I'm with you. To me, it was roughing the passer.
They called the right thing, yeah.
But the way we have seen targeting called in the last 10 years, I think there were a lot of us that saw it and went, well, that's going to be targeting.
So the subjective part of the whole targeting call is that there's an quote-unquote an indicator, some indicator or proof that the player attacked in a forceful manner rather than just trying to make a legal hit.
Well, the fact of the matter is the crown of the helmet hit the guy in the head.
Well, it did.
I mean,
that's
by,
the thing.
By rule, that's targeting.
No, but that's the thing. You go back and look at it again, and you look at it at point of impact. It's the crown of. They actually now defined the crown of the helmet, and it starts 6 inches up the helmet, and then it's for a 6-inch span to where the helmet starts to bend to go down. So the crown of the helmet is basically where your baby's soft spot at her head used to be. It's your very top of the head, not the forehead, not the first 6 inches of the face mask and helmet. So that's crown. Was there a launch? A launch is a player leaving his feet to attack in an upward thrust. I don't need a launch. It looked like he just ran right through the guy.
Yeah, no. I don't think he launched. But usually to any player, but especially a quarterback, if your helmet makes contact with their head,
yes,
you're usually out of the game.
Yeah, that's number 3 is leading with the helmet, shoulder, forearm, or fist to attack the head or neck area forcibly.
Yeah.
That was definitely forcible. That was forcible to the head or neck area. As it turned out, you could kind of see the way he was, Daniels had thrown the ball and he was kind of vulnerable, at that particular point in time. But it wasn't like
but
it
it's
was
a
no
judgment call, and they said, no, it's roughing the passer. It's not targeting. I'm fine with it, okay? It's just, come on now. We've all seen games in which less than that has led to targeting and ejections. I mean, we have. We've seen 30 instances in the last 5 years that were less than that, in which guys have been escorted off the field.
Well, that's the problem with the not only targeting, with the PIs as well. I mean, it just changes game to game, play to play.
Well, it's subjective. It's a subjective call. It's always going to be that way.
It's always going to be that way. By the way, the Phillips says that Troy has an English bulldog named Buster. So is Buster still around? Maybe Buster's not around anymore. He said he had an English bulldog.
Well, I've been there
Buster.
in 3 years. I don't know.
Maybe he's gone. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Maybe I just forgot. I mean, maybe Buster was there 5 years ago, 3 years ago, and I just forgot.
That's possible. That's entirely possible. All right. Let's get into a couple of NFL topics. Can you figure out, I know that this has nothing to do with you, but you've got a commentary on this kind of stuff. Why in God's name are they not, we're into the flex season now, right? Why aren't they flexing this Jets-Raiders game out of Sunday night? There are at least 5 games Sunday afternoon that are much better than Jets-Raiders at this point in time.
Okay, I
Aiden
don't
O'Connell
know.
Against Zach Wilson.
Are we sure they can flex this week, or is this the last week before they're allowed to flex? That's number one.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2 is you only get a certain number of flexes. So do you want to use one of them now? 3, the other networks, Fox and CBS, they get to protect games every week. You don't just get to take the best game on the board.
Right. But there's, like I say, you could take 49ers-Jags. I mean, I think that's a fascinating game right now. The Jags are, coming on. The 49ers are circling the drain with 3 straight losses. Are they bounce back? Can the Jags, hold up? I think that game is even Saints-Vikings. How about Josh Dobbs as the offensive player of the week?
But Tom, this is where the ratings game trumps the better game on paper. The Jets Raiders will outdraw the Saints Vikings.
Okay, Saints. What about Browns Ravens? The 5-3 at 7-2. The Ravens, with a dynamic quarterback.
Well, but I'm guessing that
team.
CBS, that the 49ers Jags game's a 1:00 game that Fox protected, and I'm guessing Browns Ravens is a game that CBS protected.
Now, how about this? And this I didn't know until I went looking for where I was going to find this game. Browns Ravens is on Fox. This is that new thing they're doing now.
Yeah.
Where they split the games up, and now Browns Ravens is on Fox, which is strange. And Fox is going with the national game of the week is the Giants and the Cowboys. I mean, I know it's the Giants and the Cowboys, but it's a 2-7 Giants with whoever at quarterback, the Italian kid, I think, bringing the cannolis at quarterback for the Giants against the Cowboys. I know they'll drive a number. But, man, that's their national game of the week. Kind of crazy.
Yeah, Tom, the Dallas Cowboys are involved in that game.
And
they could be playing SMU.
Yeah.
Fox wouldn't flex out of the game.
Yeah. No, I didn't think that they would flex that one, but I'm just saying I was surprised they selected that for their national game. You know what I mean?
By the way, NBC can flex out of this week. Apparently, they can flex twice between weeks 5 and 10.
Yeah.
All right. So I have no idea. But once again, listen, I can't. But right now, it looks like Joe and Troy are going to do the Packers at the Giants. It's a doubleheader Monday, the second Monday in December. The two games are Green Bay at the Giants. That could easily be 4-8 against 2-10. And the other game's Tennessee at Miami. Miami is exciting. Miami is good. Miami is competing for the AFC East. All right. And I have a feeling that Joe and Troy are going to be in New York doing two teams who combined are 6-18.
Do you not have, is this not the year where they've introduced a Monday night flex at the end of the season?
Yes. We can start flexing games after Thanksgiving.
Oh, that many? I thought it was just 1 or 2 weeks. I thought it was in January or something. So they can actually...
No.
Projecting ahead, I would imagine they got to give several weeks' notice of a game that they want to jump out of or get into.
Well, I think you have to give 2 weeks' notice if you're flexing. So my guess is that ABC, ESPN will have to make the decision. Right now, the first game that they could flex out of is Chicago at Minnesota. And my guess is the network has to decide that very quickly.
Yeah, to jump out of that game. David Moulton with us here. All right, David. So you go to Missouri.
Yep. Schedule set the rest of the year. Tennessee at Missouri. Then it's Georgia at Tennessee. Then it's the Iron Bowl. Then it's the SEC championship game.
An Iron Bowl in its usual 2:30 spot, I would think. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's taken on, and it's going to take on a lot of importance. Plus, you got Auburn playing good football right now, and Auburn very well could go into that Iron Bowl with 4 straight wins. We'll see what they do. They're a small dog, a 2.5-point dog at Arkansas, who dumped Florida. And, man, I got to believe in your neck of the woods, it's getting loud around Gainesville. They're just not going to put up with this for too long with Group of 5 Billy. I just don't think it can happen for too long here.
Well, the money people have never been enamored with them. But you got to figure the AD doesn't get a chance to hire a third coach. So do they want to blow the entire athletic department up? But, Tom, you're right. Unless he posts a significant upset, he's going to finish the year 5-7 with 5 straight losses. And right. I know the money people are not on board.
So your assignment as you leave this show today is to text Troy and say, hey, how's Buster doing? The Bulldog. See if he's still...
Okay, and I'm asking that for who again?
That might trigger something.
The Phillip, yeah, I don't know. He cries when he talks about his daughters. Yeah, the Phillip in Virginia, the biggest Troy Aikman fan. He's watched every single YouTube video about Troy Aikman that exists on the planet. Okay,
all right, I'll do it. Phillip in Virginia. I'll text Troy right now.
Text him right now and just say, "How's Buster doing?" and then see if he says that Buster is still hanging out. So that'll be good. By the way, Troy was again outstanding I just love his candidness. But can you dispel one thing? He doesn't personally hate Zach Wilson, does he? I mean,
No.
he doesn't, does he? Okay, because everybody
Please.
says he hates Zach. He can't stand Zach Wilson because he says so many bad things about Zach. He can't stand the kid. I don't think it's like he can't stand it. Like Zach wasn't going out with Troy's mother or anything like that. I mean, it's not. He doesn't have a problem with Zach. It's just. By the way, did you guys talk to Rodgers at all in your pre-meetings and everything? Is he off? Is he over there off limits, or do you guys talk to him at all?
We did not talk to him leading up to the game. We didn't even know if he was going to be there.
I wonder if do you think Troy talked to him down on the field? Once walking around on the field before the game.
I don't know if Troy went down on the field. If he did, I had a few things going on before the game. I wasn't in the booth the way I normally am, so I missed it.
Yeah. He needs to, unless they're, need to win a game for the playoffs.
What's the Bulldog's name again? I'm in the middle of the text. This is very important.
Buster. Do you still have Buster the Bulldog? Yeah.
Okay. Here. So doing a radio interview, they asked me about your Bulldog. Philip in Virginia wants to know, how is Buster doing?
Yes.
Also call into the radio show anytime.
He's not calling the show anytime soon.
Philip in Virginia. Okay.
All right, so Philip's going to lose his mind because Philip's name has now appeared on Troy Aikman's phone. The Philip in Virginia. He's not just any Philip. He's the Philip, and his name is now going to appear on Troy Aikman's phone. So it's nirvana for him.
This is going to cost me big right here.
Yeah,
this is going to cost me. This could cost me my job, Philip. Just so you know.
It's a legit question.
But I'll get the update on Buster.
All right. I appreciate you, man. As always, great stuff. Keep up the great work. And I'm just going to tease this about that. I'm going to say, stay tuned. Sometime in the next month or so, we're going to have some news involving David Moulton as well. So you just want to stay tuned for that. And we'll just tease that. We're just going to tease that a little bit. All right, David. Appreciate you.
I got an update. Buster is no longer.
So Philip, you had David Moulton ask Troy Aikman about his dead dog.
Yes.
I said no from the start. I said no from the start.
I knew it. I knew it. See what you did? Now he cries when he talks about his daughters on camera. Now he's got tears in his eyes sitting there because we're asking about Philip the dog, Buster the dog. Jeez.
Thanks, Philip. Really appreciate that.
Thanks, Philip. Yeah, put us all in a bad light now. The next text from Troy is going to be, what show are you on? And I forbid you to ever go on that show again. That's what he's going to say now. He's going to say, don't ever go on that show again.
I should send him a text now that says, hey, how about if I ask you about that NFC Championship game loss?
Oh, gosh. And ask him if Lori Morgan was at the game.
Oh, you and Lori Morgan. My goodness.
All right, man. I appreciate you.
Unbelievable.
It's good. It's a good job by you. All right,
man.
Take it easy. Be safe. Be careful. Enjoy.
Be
Buffalo,
safe.
New York.
I just hope I'm employed a week from now, Philip.
Enjoy Buffalo, New York. That ought to be fun.
I'm going to be looking for work in Buffalo.
Yeah, you might be. See? All right, man. Appreciate it.
Philip.
Can't believe Philip made David Moulton ask Troy Aikman about his dead dog. That's just terrible. I got to get a break in here. All right, we'll come back. Expect to see texts from Philip in the text window when we return. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve, and we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single-ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing, we have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates, residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Want even more excitement on game day? It's time to get on Prize Picks, the best way to win big on fantasy sports. Here's how it works. Just pick 2 to 6 players and choose more or less on their stats. If you get them right, you could win up to 25 times your cash. It's quick and easy to make your picks, and with fast and safe deposits and withdrawals, Prize Picks is the place to play this season. Prize Picks has awesome weekly promotions, and they're the only daily fantasy platform with an injury insurance policy, keeping you in the game even if one of your players goes down. Sweat it out. Watch your entry update in real time and continue the fun by making picks on second half and fourth quarter stats. Take your game day experience to the next level with Prize Picks. And right now, you go to prizepicks.com/primetime and use code primetime. Prize Picks is matching your first deposit up to $100. That's prizepicks.com/primetime with code primetime for a 100% deposit match. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for more details.
Not looking or feeling your best? No energy for the things you like to do? Ready to look and feel younger? Make your appointment at Advanced Life Clinic, one of the region's foremost destinations for patients interested in looking and feeling their best. Specializing in advanced laser treatments and weight loss, male and female rejuvenation to offset the effects of aging, and more. See how Advanced Life Clinic can help you enjoy your life again. Call 256-882-6555 or log on advancedlifeclinic.com.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A wise man once said, "If you take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself."
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
With us today, Dr. Tracy Lowry of Best Vein Care of Huntsville.
When we evaluate a patient and they indeed have significant venous disease, most third-party payers, private insurance, Medicare, require us to treat every patient conservatively at least 90 days. Conservative treatment includes increasing ambulation, elevation of the legs, and the wearing of compression stockings. It's very common for folks to come see us in March or April wanting to have their veins fixed before they go into swimsuits starting in June. When we see someone in March or April, they're going to require at least 90 days of conservative treatment before we can even go to the insurance carrier to get permission to treat their veins. So if you think you have a venous problem, now is the time to come in and get a free screening so we can determine whether or not you need something evaluated. If you have a vein problem or you think you may have a vein problem, now's the time to contact us at bestveincarehuntsville.com.
These days, saving time is important, and saving money is even more so. That's where Eagle Masonry and Insulation comes in. Over the years, Eagle has expanded their services to meet the needs of folks like you in our area. Taking care of your property yourself can be a real headache. Eagle can handle it for you. They offer full landscaping services, irrigation, mowing, bush hog, and can install plants and trees, sod, and even landscape borders. Call Eagle Masonry and Insulation today at 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time, and Eagle saves you money. Since 1986, Full Moon Barbecue has been cooking quality meats low and slow over a hickory wood-fired pit. From ribs and wings, brisket, turkey, catfish, and sausage to the best butts in town. If you're planning a holiday or a birthday party, Full Moon has a large banquet room. And Full Moon is ready for your next catering or tailgate. Just call us and we'll take care of everything. 256-713-0070. Full Moon Barbecue on the Parkway next to Costco. The best little pork house in Alabama.
There's the phone and no one to answer.
256-576-4977.
And as a result, we got many, many phone calls and letters.
Give us a call on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline today. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Welcome back, Thom Abraham Show. This segment of the show is brought to you by my friends at Pond Lehocky Giordano, who Philip is going to need. He's going to need attorneys now that he cost David Moulton his job by forcing him to ask, Troy Aikman about his dead dog. All right, so Philip. You're on a call, my friends, at Pond Lehocky Giordano. They're not just excellent attorneys, but true advocates who will fight for you because they know the ins and outs of the legal game now that you got David fired. For personalized and dedicated legal support, reach out to Pond Lehocky, 855-774-3838. That's 855-774-3838. Or visit pondlehocky.com if you get yourself in a bind like Philip has. By the way, I have an intriguing question from, I don't know who it's from, but I have an intriguing question regarding the, it's Bama Todd, who was on hold and had to go. He said, what does the committee do if Ole Miss beats Georgia? I mean, UGA has to fall at least 9 and be behind Ole Miss. I don't know if they fall 9, but the Ole Miss would climb up enough because of the head-to-head. This committee is a joke. He said that, they both would be one-loss teams. Let me tell you something. If Ole Miss, and I got to look at what the line is in that game. According to the analytics, the line in that game should be 6.5. That's what it should be. Let's see what the line actually is in that game. It's 10.5. Okay? According to the analytics, Georgia should only be a 3.5-point favorite over Ole Miss on a neutral site. Add 3 for the home field, a 6.5-point favorite. At 10.5, that's a little rich. That's a little rich. But should Ole Miss upset Georgia in that game? Ole Miss, before they play Georgia, has played the number 13 most difficult schedule in the country and is 2-1 against the top 30, with their only loss in the top 10 being to Alabama. If Ole Miss were to beat Georgia in Georgia, Ole Miss would have to go in front of Georgia. I mean, you would have zero evidence to put Georgia ahead of Ole Miss. Georgia has played the number 69 schedule. Georgia has 1 top 30 win and 0 top 10 wins. They have 1 top 30 win, and it was over Missouri. That was a little bit of a struggle to get that. If Ole Miss were to walk in there and beat Georgia, I don't know how you wouldn't move Georgia or Ole Miss up. Ole Miss is 9 and Georgia is 2. You'd have to move Ole Miss up. But then you have the problem that Ole Miss got beat by Alabama. And Ole Miss right now is 9, Alabama's 8. Ole Miss would have a better win than Alabama. Alabama's best win of the season is against Ole Miss. But they better head-to-head. What about the head-to-head? I mean, do you see the pickle that the committee is backing themselves into? And I don't. And I say to committee, I don't even know if I can really blame the committee. What are you supposed to do? This is what happens when you're just picking them, where you don't have a true playoff. It's just a playoff amongst the team that you pick. But you got to pick teams to put them. Now, Ole Miss and Alabama, if we had a 12-team playoff right now, if we had the 12-team playoff right now as to where we are right now, Ole Miss and Alabama would be playing each other in Tuscaloosa, and Alabama would beat them again. Michigan would be playing Tulane. Oregon would be playing Louisville, and Texas would be playing Penn State. The winner of the Alabama-Ole Miss game would play Ohio State. Now, according to this, Washington would be the 4 seed because of the fact that they're the fourth highest ranked conference champ. If we follow the chalk, they would be the 4 seed. The only problem is next year, Washington's not going to be a conference champ. They wouldn't be a conference champ right now because they'd be in the same conference as Ohio State. So Washington would actually be a lower seed than Michigan. The 4th highest ranked conference champion would be Texas out of the Big 12. So Texas would slide into the 4 hole, and Washington would slide into the 6 hole. Maybe the 6 hole. They'd slide in the 6 hole. Oregon would have to slide down to the 7. Texas would be having a bye. I can't wait for the 12-team playoff. LSU Lynch is up. LSU Lynch, welcome to the show. How are you?
Well. Thank you for rising for 3 minutes, and thank you, Lord, for having a cold beer, having to listen to this today. Look here. Philip, you want to talk about a damn movie, son? Let me tell you. After this show today, it's called Scarface. You are a tie to being the winner, being the guy in the daggum shower scene with the chainsaw or the guy that they dropped out and hung at the helicopter, okay? Because number 2, when did we start the GoFundMe for David Moulton? Okay. Number 3, Buckhorn, you still suck. That's all I got to say.
LSU Lynch is moving up high on the caller list. LSU Lynch, he is really moving up because he knows how to get in, get a point made, get out of there.
I wish you'd give me just another second so I can pull down the slide fast enough.
No, I enjoy hearing the click because that's on his terms. You know what I mean? There's no hey, we'll talk to you tomorrow. There's no thanks for the. There's no go Tigers. There's nothing. Buckhorn sucks. Click.
I got to be like Tom Luganbill. I'll be at the ready because, man, that guy, he is quick. Click. It's like he's got it next to his cheek and he just hits it. Bloop.
All right, when we come back, I'm going to define in a personal way the difference between a cheap hit and a hard hit that is unnecessary roughness. And I'm going to use a personal story to make the point next on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
There's nothing like the freedom you feel when you're on the water in your own boat from Freedom Marine in Guntersville. And when it's time to get your boat ready for cold weather, Freedom Marine is your best choice to winterize your boat so it's ready to go next spring. If you've been thinking about a new boat, Freedom Marine has a great selection on sale now with some of the biggest discounts they've had in a decade. For new and used boats, outboard sales, financing, service and parts, it's Freedom Marine. Highway 431 in Guntersville and online at freedommarincenter.com. You want the right specialist for your recovery. At SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, we understand every body is different. Your muscles and bones are unique, as is your body. Our SportsMed specialists offer innovative treatments and minimally invasive procedures, allowing you to quickly return to the life you love. Locations in Huntsville, Madison, Athens, and Decatur, and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com. Improving performance, improving lives.
Hi, this is Wes Neighbors. I'm here with Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Sam, tell the folks about Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Hey, Wes. Our company, Fleming Roofing and Restoration, specializes in commercial and residential roofing and repairs. I'm a fifth-generation Huntsvillian, and our family's been doing construction business in Huntsville area since 1965.
Sam, what kind of roofs does Fleming Roofing and Restoration do?
Our guys are skilled enough. We can come out and address any kind of leaks or issues you might have on your commercial, on your metal roofing, on your Your shingles, we can do anything, and we can offer you a solution to repair it or we can replace it.
Well, you guys also do insurance restoration.
Our staff has 10-plus years of experience as insurance adjusters, and we really do know the inside and out of the claims process at Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Check out Fleming Roofing and Restoration online at FlemingHSV.com, or you can call or text them at 256-651-9440.
Hey, Wes, we show up.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
With us today, Dr. Tracy Lowry of Best Vein Care of Huntsville.
When we evaluate a patient and they indeed have significant venous disease, most third-party payers, private insurance, Medicare, require us to treat every patient conservatively at least 90 days. Conservative treatment includes increasing ambulation, elevation of the legs, and the wearing of compression stockings. It's very common for folks to come see us in March or April wanting to have their veins fixed before they go into swimsuits starting in June. When we see someone in March or April, they're going to require at least 90 days of conservative treatment before we can even go to the insurance carrier to get permission to treat their veins. So if you think you have a venous problem, now is the time to come in and get a free screening so we can determine whether or not you need something evaluated. If you have a vein problem or you think you may have a vein problem, now's the time to contact us at bestveincarehuntsville.com.
The new favorite place for delicious Mexican food is Coralejos Mexican Grill in Huntsville. Check out their reviews on Facebook and you'll see what people are raving about. Enjoy drink specials all day Monday through Thursday, like house margaritas for $3.99 and 12-ounce drafts for $2. Even vegan-friendly entrees on Monday starting at $5. Coralejos Mexican Grill, 1658 Old Monrovia Road in Huntsville. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram to stay updated on their specials.
Injuries at work happen all the time in Alabama, so do motor vehicle and slip and fall accidents. If you're hurt at work or injured in an accident, I want you to call my good friends at Pond, Lehocky, Giordano. That's Pond, Lehocky, Alabama's injury law firm. They got your back just like they've got mine. For personalized legal support, reach out to Pond, Lehocky at 855-774-3838 or pondlehocky.com.
The representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
It's an amazing time in our industry. Things are changing so rapidly. With digital signatures and workflow software, we help our customers work from anywhere. This helps you save time and money and upgrade your technologies. Like I said, it's an amazing time to watch our customers grow and succeed.
Just ask anyone. The Lioce Group.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Don't let your back or neck pain get in the way. Get back to doing the things you love with the spine and neuro team from Huntsville Hospital. As the most experienced in the area, we have been improving lives in North Alabama for more than 50 years. Whether your favorite fishing hole is on Wilson Lake in the Shoals, Flint Creek, or Lake Gunnersville, Spine and Neuro is nearby to get you back to your best. Visit us online at spineandneuro.com to learn more.
New coordinators.
That's as good as money, sir.
New quarterback.
It's my quarterback.
Same coach.
All right, and you all may be taking the week off, all right, this week, but I'm not.
We are your home of the Alabama Crimson Tide. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
to you by Valley Equipment Rental with their 2 locations, North and South Parkway. It's Valley Equipment Rental. You're thinking about getting some work done this weekend, you need to be thinking about Valley Equipment Rental. Get that work done here as the weather's getting ready to change. We want to get some of that stuff done. They got more excavators, mini X's, and big excavators. They've got dozers. They've got everything that you need, really. They've got the skid steers with all the attachments. I'm gonna have to get a skid steer with a auger on it because I'm gonna put a fence in on the property and another fence now on the property, just a little short one in our parking area there. I want to get these rows of Sharons out of there and run a fence down through there, and I'll need that. I'll need the skid steer with the auger thing on there, and they just do a tremendous job at Valley Equipment Rental, and they're locally owned. That's what's great, too. Ross Roberts and his team. You want to deal with people that are locally owned businesses. Those are the businesses that we need to deal with is people like Ross Roberts and the fine folks at Valley Equipment Rental. All right, quick story. The hit, I will die on the hill that the Dallas Turner hit was not cheap. It was not dirty. It was not cheap. It was a hard hit, and it was the definition of roughing the passer, and they got the call right. Let me tell you what a cheap hit was, okay? Something that is cheap, okay? A cheap shot, if you will. And I'm not proud of this, but I'm going to tell the story because this show's an open wound. I just tell these stories. 1977. I'm playing center for Bishop Kearney High School. We get a huge City Catholic game against Aquinas. My father's alma mater. Playing at Aquinas Stadium. It's a 20,000-seat stadium. There's 10,000 people at the game. And it's a huge game. I'm going up against a kid that is all county. A kid that weighs about 245 pounds. He is a nose tackle /3 technique, but mostly in the nose. He was playing on me on a shade most of the day. I knew going in that this was going to be brutal. I was 192 pounds, 5'11", pretty strong. I mean, I benched over 300 and squatted, everything we had in the rack. But I was only 192 pounds. And I'm playing against a kid, I'm giving up 50 pounds. My coach told me all week long how this kid was going to beat me into the ground. And how important it was for me to just try and neutralize him. Just if you can neutralize him once out of every 3 plays, we'll be okay. That's what he told me. He's going to beat you 2 out of 3, but can you neutralize him 1 out of 3? I mean, that's the way my coach was. And he would pound on me and everything else and show me this is what he's going to do to you. Get in the game, this kid's wearing me out. I'm doing all right. I mean, I'm fighting, I'm scrapping. I'm doing all right. He had a previous elbow injury, and he had an elbow guard on his elbow that he had a dislocated elbow on, and he had the big elbow pad, elbow guard on. Comes a point in time in the middle of the second quarter where he is on a slant, and that elbow is right there in front of me. I mean, right in front of me. And I lower my head and bury my helmet into that elbow.
Dirty player.
Everything I got, I targeted that elbow. I mean, I knocked them out of the game. The kid they brought in was terrible. I mean, I just dragged out that kid all over the place. I knocked the kid out of the game. I saw an opening. I saw a brace on his elbow, and I hit it intentionally. That was a dirty play. That was a cheap play. What Dallas Turner did was not cheap. Big Dog was cheap that day. Dallas Turner was not cheap. That's a cheap shot. That's going to do it. Paul Feinbaum is next on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.